Whew. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get things set up here and chat popped out and things shared around. I apologize for being a little late this morning. I was getting food and I completely forgot what time it was. Copy and let's get this in here. Boop, 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 boop. Chat scroll, properties. Okay, and chat is live. Alan, good morning. How we doing, brother? Whew, what a week it's been, man. Alright, so what else do I have to do here before we can settle in? Yeah, let's get this shared around. So, blah. Copy video link. Copy. Book of Faces. Okay, and yep. Ooh, got a nice crack there. All right, we're off to a great morning. And Alan sent me some photos. Oh, very nice. All right, I see where you're going with that. Very nice. Well done, Alan. And good morning, Jill. How we doing? You're going to the church later. Got the first cuff done. Fantastic. Looks great. Oh, boy. I think I am going to spend the day recovering. Because, good God. I don't know if it's this weather or if it's or tweak something or what. But my lower back is in full-on revolt. But yeah, the cuff looks great. Are you doing just two, or are you doing multiples, or? Hell of a push on the railings, but they do look good. Thank you. I'll probably be able to get those wrapped up. I'm thinking by the end of tomorrow. Two cuffs and one collar. Awesome. Good set. And again, thank you so much for your help on the railings. I would not have been able to get as far as fast without you. Definitely major props to you. Thank you. Still a few things left to do on them, but we'll get there. I have to do the handicap ends at the top. I'm going to put all the top rails in underneath the cap rail just to give it a little extra stability for the wedding, and then I'm going to come back and finish off everything the right way afterwards. But wowza. It's been a hell of a trip. And as soon as these railings are in, I need to switch gears and try and go whole hog on getting those swords done. Because the guy, he understands that things come up and custom orders take a while, but he's hoping to present them in person to his friends and get a in-person photo by the end of this coming week. And I don't know if I see that happening. Because I still need to straighten them. I need to finish putting in the primary bevels. I need to put in the fullers. The spine work shouldn't take long at all because I have that tungsten bit. It should only take a few minutes, actually, to do each blade. But then I need to straighten everything out, normalize everything at least once. Because there was a lot of stress in that metal when I cut it. I mean, it looked like a warped piece of wood when I cut those blades apart, those blade blanks apart, because it went out and then it started twisting around itself. So it's going to require a lot of heat, at least one round, maybe 2 or 3. Of getting them in there and flipping them around and just letting everything slowly take its course. But we'll get there. We'll work all the stress out of it. Just a little kinky. And I'll be able to deliver that. And then I think I'm going to take a few days off after I'm done with everything, just not to run around and do stuff, not for personal reasons, or not to do, like, I have a couple weddings coming up, and I have Halloween's coming, and no, just 1 or 2 days to sit and veg, maybe half a day, because I don't do the whole vegetative state thing very well. Anyways. And then, you know how I was going to that shop meeting? Well, I went to the meeting, talked the whole thing over, with some friends and partners, and I'm going with that shop. Mid-October, I'm going to be rolling out a bunch of my inventory into there, and I'll do pictures and stuff. But yeah, all my stuff's going to be for purchase in an actual physical shop. So it's pretty exciting. It's exciting to me. A lot of work for me to get from where I'm at now to getting everything in the shop. But we'll get there. I think three of everything would be a good, 3 or 4 of everything would be a good starter. You know, 3 sets of coasters, 3 beer koozies, 3 herb choppers, 3 cutting boards, a couple necklaces, couple different bracelets of each type. You know, 3 wallets, 3 book covers, and just see what goes. Bottle stoppers. Because you never really know until things get going. What's going to sell in a particular location. That's one of the reasons why I do so many different things. It's kind of throw the kitchen sink at the wall and see what sticks. And what can I mass produce? What will sell in this market versus that market? There's a whole bunch of bullshit that goes into figuring things out correctly. But we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Just some days I wish we could get there faster. I think if I get into like 3 or 4 stores, I'll be pretty good. Because I got wands, and you know, I got forged goods and you know, wooden stuff and leather stuff. I have jewelry and all sorts of crap. So I think I have a pretty good fare. Enough at least to keep a bunch of different people incentivized. So what do you think are a few items that kind of fit my style that I could make that would sell well in a store like that? I'm already thinking about doing those bags that you talked about earlier. I forget the name of them. But they have the wooden clasps on top. Let me see. I saw a picture of it in here somewhere. I have like 8 pictures of them, but it's currently eluding me. There it is, Viking leather handle bag. I mean, yes, but no. There's actually I know there's a specific name for them. One guy's asking $100 for one of those bags. Good Lord. I mean, it is a handsome piece. It's nice carving on the front of it. Looks like it's made out of oak. Very nice. Burka. Yes. I'm working on burning the words. Cool. But yeah, I think, I could easily get 3 of those out and up on the shelves. Hedgeby. That's another one I'm seeing. Viking Burka bag. Hedgeby. Oh, I can buy the handles for $45. Look at that. Wow. Maybe that's what some of that red leather will go towards. Because I do have this nice red leather up there. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. Because most of my color schemes don't involve red. Ooh, and they even have some nice knit ones. Some of these things are gorgeous, guys. I'm thinking something simple with like a modern flair on it. Bloop. Make a few of those. They should sell pretty well. I could probably make them out of thinner leather too, just because of the nature of how people think of bags and such, and might even be able to sew those on my sewing machine. And just for the really really difficult pieces, or the pieces I can't get with the sewing machine, go back and hand stitch those, or the visible seams. Yeah, I could definitely do that out of like lighter weight leather, and easily flip them, I think. Oh, I like that clasp pattern there. I can even make it out of a larger billet and then just cut slices off it and use that as the piece. And that way I could easily pump out, 15 sets of handles in a day. 20 sets of handles in a day. And then, if the leather's thin enough to sew on my sewing machine, wouldn't take much time at all to get everything, for the fit and finish. Then a nice piece of through cordage that marries into a nice leather strap, for carrying on your shoulder, like a regular purse. And there you go. Bing, bang, boom. I like the way that is. Or, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I don't see why I wouldn't. And then once I get the laser in here, I could just bring home slabs of wood and have things like ornately etched and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And those ones are really pretty too. You can get very pretty with these things. And I need to make myself a spawn. Good morning, Chris. It's Caleb. Hey, Caleb, how's it going, buddy? Dude, things are going fantastic. Super overworked at the shop, which, when am I not? Got myself into a store. Towards the end of October, I'm going to start populating it. Sent you a picture of Jill's project. Yo! Okay, that's going up on screen because that is just too cool. Guys, look at that. Come on. Come on, focus. There we go. And look at that. She's watching me as I do the thing. That is looking awesome, by the way. Very good job. Caleb, great to hear. I'm doing pretty well. Overworked is probably a good thing, in a way. You've been waiting for it. Yes, I have been. I mean, I could do with a slightly slower pace or more reasonable deadlines, or deadlines that are firm from people, but otherwise, you know, everything's going pretty well. It just certain deadlines keep encroaching and creeping, which is not the best thing in the world. However, what are you gonna do? Gotta do the work, gotta put in the time. And you're welcome, Jill. I mean, really, that is looking fantastic. Super cool. But yeah, once I get those get this railing done, those swords done, get the shop populated, then it's going to be time for me to turn around and start doing Christmas gifts for people. So. It's funny how I'm constantly, I can take a few days off. It went from, I'll take 2 days off to do nothing. Well, maybe half a day. And then it's like, actually, hold on a second. Because then I still have to do a run of pipes for people that I've been waiting for some wooden tobacco and weed pipes for the last month and a half. So I need to do pipes. I need to do I need Christmas gifts, and I need to really start doing a lot more leather work too. And I need to start making shirts and stuff, because that's one thing I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be making shirts and kilts. So it's good giving yourself time off. Don't burn yourself out. I'm trying not to burn myself out. That's why I am purposely avoiding going to the shop on the weekends as much as possible. Sometimes it's just not in the cards. Like, sometimes I just have to go. It's one of those things, you know. However, I try to keep my weekends free, and I try to be flexible and a little forgiving on myself for when I show up, for when I have to show up late in the mornings, or leave early for one thing or another. Or, you know, little man has a doctor's appointment. I try not to beat myself up for taking the time off to do family things and to give myself the time that I need. But it's also hard because even when I'm sitting late at night playing video games, it's still pounding in the back of my head. Oh, by the way, this thing. I bought this at an estate sale of an antique dealer. And unfortunately, I'm not going to use it for its intended purpose. This thing is one of those, I think it's Indian or Middle Eastern somewhere, where they do they have the hot sand with the coffee. And this is the thing they use. So apparently they throw in a lot of sugar. And the sugar is what volumizes it in the hot sand as they, you know, mix it around and stuff. And Turkish, yes, Turkish, that's it. So that's what this thing is. I think I'm going to be using it for my wax, for my sealing wax, because it's just the right size and just the right shape, and I could put a bunch in there and, you know, just have it heated up, and the thermal mass of it will keep it pretty liquid, you know, as I'm, you know, going back and you know, sealing things, setting it next to the forge, sealing something, setting it next to the forge. And it'll allow me to be, I think it will allow me to be a lot more consistent with my pours, more accurate, and also more consistent with my color grading across the board. Because when I seal things, I want to seal them, you know, take a nice wax paper, I think, and fold the wax paper over something. Then wrap it once, you know, a nice little knot, you know, with twine, nice pretty knot on it, and then seal that whole thing with my maker's mark. And I think that's the way to go to keep the board, the cutting boards nice and stuff, and just gives an extra little bit of pizzazz to the you know, final consumer, basically. Because, you know, if I'm going to be having all these things here, boom, 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 there's just something a little extra nice about having something with a wax seal. It gives it that air of old authenticity. And it's also a way, it's also an excuse for me to have something that doesn't really need to be wrapped and could be showcased by itself, to have just a thin little wrapping on it and just that little air of mystery. And that way, like, when a customer gets it, it's like a, ooh, this is something special. Anyways, that's how I think of things. So yeah, I think I'll have a display model at that shop. And then I'll have all of them wrapped with that paper. Maybe I'll do wax paper and then like black tissue paper on top of that, or some sort of black paper, just to give it a nice crisp look. Yeah. And maybe I'll write on it what it is in silver Sharpie. Yeah. So I'll wrap it all in wax paper. And I'll put just a few drops of wax in there just to hold everything down. I'll put my cards and, care information page on it. Then I'll wrap the whole thing in black paper, seal that shut with my maker's mark and the wax seal, and I'll write on it in silver Sharpie. Bet that'll look slick as shit. At least until I can get boxes made. Yeah. Boxes are going to be where it's at once I get going. Yeah. That's the ticket. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I feel a really, really big sense of relief right now. Since now I know exactly how I'm going to package these things and everything. Like, that's been something that's been eating at the back of my head for quite a while. So I think after I'm done with the swords, I'm going to switch over, do the remainder of the stuff I have for in here. Are you thinking about making metal jewelry like Torques? Yes. Let's see. Do I have some stuff in here? I mean, I already have these nice copper bracelets. I have, different patterns. They're solid copper. This one has like 2 different peening marks on it. Stuff like that. This one's just a simple fold. So they're all slightly different. They're all slightly different size. Like this one can't fit on my wrist. This one, however, if it's right on there, looks pretty nice. When is my day? I think I thought up a name to start selling stuff. Awesome. Caleb, when is a day my mom could drive me down to say hi? I could ask when she's available. The tires in the car aren't the best right now, but I could see when. Typically, I'm down there Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. These next couple weeks, I think it's going to be Monday through Thursday, just because of how my schedule's going to work out. But it's just one of those things that I need to these next couple weeks, because I have a bunch of weddings that I have to do some traveling for and stuff. I think Fridays I won't be around. Let's see, what other goodies do I have in here? I have a bunch of S hooks. These are always nice and fun. Good to know. It's been a bit. Yes, it has. It's been a hot minute. I have these nice, lovely little J hooks. Oh, and I have my bullet necklaces, which is just a 9mm shell that's been cleaned, drilled out, the edges countersunk, and some cordage with an adjustable knot wrapped around, put in there. What else do I have in this little box here? I think that's it. Oh. And one of my children's rings. My adjustable children's rings. They don't sell for very much, but the cool thing about it is, like I said, they're cheap. And by manipulating the wire on here... Oh, that one popped out. Need to reglue it. This is the thinner wire. Typically I have thicker wire on these because of that reason. You want to take up as much space and rely on the glue as little as possible. But by manipulating these the wire, you can actually get it to fit on any size finger. So perfect for little kids. They're just, cheap things. It's just some wire, a bead, and some super glue. But for something cheap and something made for little kids, people go buck nutty for them. As strange as that sounds. I remember when I started doing all this stuff, like middle school? Was it middle school or was it high school? I started doing the rings. I think it was high school. I was selling them for 25 cents a piece. And I think I would get orders for like $200 worth of them. So people just loved them. Again, that was a while, like almost 20 years ago. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. But, yeah, I would just be sitting there watching anime and just, just clip out a bunch of lengths. Because back then I had everything standardized. So I just click out the length and it was click, 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 click. And I'd be able to make, 40, 50 of them in one episode. And then in the next episode, I would take them all and, give them a pre-bend and then go through with super glue and just... So it really became a full production event. Just little glass beads, super simple to churn them out, especially once you know what length you need, what length of wire you need and where all the bends have to be. It just goes like that. So I actually made pretty good money making stupid cheap rings that you could win in a, I guess they're slightly better quality than what you could win in one of those little slot turny thingies for kids. But I don't even have the what is wrong with me? I never switched over to the chat screen. What am I doing? But yeah, I know the last I was at the last with the tents and the people and the vendors, market, whatever. Anyways, the last time I was at one of those, I was actually just making those just to sell them. Yeah, Chris, you better switch that chat screen. Craft fair, that's it. Last time I was at craft fair, I actually just sat there making just a bunch of those, and I had a little leather tray. There it is. And this is just a mistake from I was trying to make from when I was making quivers. I made a few quivers for people, and this one turned out a little too shallow for my liking. I wanted the lip a little bit bigger. And on the quiver, this would go up on the inside like that. And then, the two would come this way. I'd stitch around on the inside. Stitch through here. It worked out pretty nice. And then I would take some florist foam and shove it all the way down to protect the leather itself, and so that when you put your arrows in, they had something to grab onto a little bit. Help keep them in place while you're doing whatever. Just it's little touches like that. Anyways, so I had this guy. I didn't know what to do with it, but it turned out really nice, but just not what I needed. So I grabbed this, sat that on the table, and just started making a bunch of these kids' rings, and just put one in there, put one in there, put one in there. And as kids would walk by and stuff, hey, come here. And I just give them a couple rings apiece. And kids loved it. Parents loved it because then they didn't have to buy something for their kids. The kids could futz around with it and get it on their ring, and get the ring on their finger. And they have a black one and a red one and a purple one, and this one has little speckles in it, and they loved it. So even though they're cheap rings made for profit, it's one of those things you could just throw at people and everyone's happy. And then the parents, since the kids are happy, they want to look around your little stall for a second here. Maybe they'll buy something. So very, very simple things like that you can just do over and over and over. I love them. They're fantastic. But today, I'm helping the girl make a mushroom hat for when we go to a Ren fair, because she wants to be a mushroom fairy. So that's about half done. I think we're going to wait till the Ren fair to show completed photos. That's going to be completely on her for when we do it, but it's turning out really good. I haven't done any craft. I haven't done any foam crafting. Friendly but efficient business tactics. Exactly. Because really, I am here to make the world better, one kerf at a time. And sometimes that small little cut is giving a kid a 25-cent ring. And sometimes that 25-cent ring turns into $200 in sales. But it's also a good way just to keep your hands busy. Because I fidget with things. So if I don't give myself something to fidget with, I will probably end up breaking something. At least you're not scamming people somehow like big businesses do it. True. Everything I do is pretty high quality, and I think it's all good stuff. And all of my money goes into either promoting my business or feeding my family. Or building my business or feeding my family, for the most part. Sometimes I get fun things for myself, okay, well, in here everything serves a purpose that I bought for myself. So maybe I really don't buy that many fun things for myself. No, it's all. Well, everyone needs their own stuff. Yeah. But you know what? No. I guess all this stuff in here, even though it is for work and for business, it is fun for me. Tobacco. And tobacco pipes. I like buying nice tobacco pipes. That's fun. That serves no real business purpose. That's just for me and my own enjoyment. I guess, some video games every now and then, and a book every now and then. I buy for personal reasons instead of for business. How much do you smoke pipes anymore anyway? I try to smoke 1 or 2 a week, but usually I'm just too busy. And that's something where I'm not doing it for the rush of nicotine like I do with this guy or people do with cigarettes. It's for slowing down, for relaxing and contemplating. Let's see, Alum. And using your own products can prompt an interest for advertising as well. This is very true. So that's why, like, when I'm going out places and stuff, I'll actually wear the Knightsmith t-shirts. Or, you know, put jewelry on that I made, or, you know, the shoes that I'm going to be wearing that I'm making, which I finally got the pins in, so I'm going to finish the shoes. But these guys, you know, they look, you know, casually as just a simple shoe, but then you look at it and then it, you know, you got all this pretty leather work up here, and the whole thing is hand sewn. You can see all the diamond patterned stitching and stuff. Show. Let's see. And that's why I support pipe tobacco and cigars, real cigars, not the backwoods game shit. Well, here's the thing. The difference between pipes, cigars, and cigarettes. And I might be slightly misquoting this because it's been a while since I've seen the chart. But people who don't smoke at all, let's say they have a cancer rate of 1, a risk of cancer of 1. People who smoke cigarettes, and I think that's like a pack a week cigarettes, have a cancer risk of 16. So you're between 1 and 16. Yeah. People who smoke 2 cigars a week have a cancer risk of like 12. And people who smoke 2 pipes a week have a cancer risk of 2. So I'm not sure how that ratio played out, but a lot of it has to do with the amount of nicotine in it, and nicotine in itself is not bad for you. It's a mild stimulant, almost identical to coffee. It's everything else. And cigarettes have a lot of crap added to them, and they're also artificially more nicotine is artificially added to them, which makes them more addictive, because all stimulants are addictive in one way or another. But it's the, all the stuff they do to put in them to preserve them, all the different chemicals and stuff, which is why cigarettes are so bad for you. It's not the nicotine. The nicotine is just the addictive part. It depends on how the tobacco is processed. Cigarettes are dry as hell and are sprayed and have added nicotine. Yeah, so it's all the different additives they put into the tobacco that makes that increases the carcinogenic rate so much. I'm not saying people should smoke, but if you do, you need to be aware of, just aware of, what's going on, how things are doing, and why they're being done that way. That was a huge digression from the thing. Anyways, tobacco smoking isn't necessarily bad. It's how you do it and how it's processed. Most pipe cigars and pipe tobacco is harvested, dried, and cured. Yes. Very little is done to most pipe and cigar tobacco, and what changes the flavor profile and the scent profile is the strain of tobacco, how it was grown, and how it was cured. Because you can take the same leaf and cure it 5 different ways and end up with 5 completely different profiles. Let's see, Caleb, I wouldn't smoke hookah shisha though. I have before. It's not terrible. In limited doses, it's fun, but that is not something I can do on a regular basis. But it is fun. It's a lot of fun. For that, I have my own hookah. I haven't used it in like 4 years, 5 years, but whatever. It's a lot of fun. It's just one of those things, you know. And great Scott, it's already 10 o'clock. So guys, we're gonna wrap this up here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I love having you guys around. I love talking, about all these different topics, and being able to bounce around and have an interesting conversation with a bunch of people that I care deeply about. So thank you. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and you guys have a fantastic week. Thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time, and I'll see you all next week.